Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please proceed to Nusantara Hall and to take your seats as we will begin momentarily. May we also remind you to please switch your mobile phones to silent mode and wear your mask throughout the event, please. For your kind information regarding the simultaneous interpretation, please note that Channel 1 is for English and Channel 2 is for Chinese. Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the arrival of Secretary General of ASEAN, His Excellency Dato Lim Jok Hoi, and State Councilor of the Foreign Ministers of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Wang Yi. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. We are delighted to welcome you to the ASEAN Secretariat for the policy speech by State Councilor and Foreign Ministers of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Wang Yi. Before we begin, we would like to kindly invite His Excellency Dato Lim Jock Hoi, Secretary General of ASEAN, to deliver his welcoming remarks. SG Dato, the floor is yours, please.
His Excellency Wang Yi, State Councilor and Foreign Ministers, People's Republic of China, Excellency, Permanent Representative for ASEAN, Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and pleasure that I warmly welcome State Councilor, Foreign Minister Wang Yi. I'm delighted with the ease of COVID-19 situation, we are able to host this important event today at the ASEAN Secretariat. Following the visit of Premier Li Keqiang in May 2018, we very much appreciate the presence of State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi as renewal of China's commitment to support ASEAN. China has long been an important partner for ASEAN, and our relations took a major step forward with the establishment of this strategic partnership in 2003. A significant component of our relations is trade and economic cooperation. For the past 12 years, China has consistently ASEAN's largest trading partners, and we remain committed to strengthen our economic cooperation for shared prosperity and mutual benefit. China's tremendous economic progress has greatly contributed to the region's overall growth, including that of ASEAN. China's commitment to an open, rule-based multilateral trading system and its continued growth prospect will not only benefit the people of China, but all of us in the region, and in fact, globally. The signing and subsequent implementation of RCEP agreement is therefore a testament to our belief and efforts to ensure market openness and to facilitate trade and investment in the region. We also continue to deepen our political dialogue through various ASEAN-led mechanisms, promoting sustainable development, cooperation, while nurturing greater friendship between our people through people-to-people exchanges. Notably, China's support and assistance to ASEAN during the difficult times of COVID-19 pandemic is very much appreciated. And we look forward to further strengthening our collaboration towards a comprehensive, inclusive, and sustainable recovery in the region, including through the implementation of the ASEAN Comprehensive Recovery Framework. Constructively, we shape the prospect of enduring peace and stability in the region. With the establishment of ASEAN Comprehensive Strategic Partnership last year, we jointly invest towards making partnerships substantive, meaningful, and mutually beneficial. Once again, I would like to extend my appreciation to His Excellency for carving out an opportunity to see us in ASEAN Secretariat as part of the visits to the region. I believe our events today add value in advancing ASEAN-China Comprehensive Strategic Partnership. Without further ado, it is with great pleasure that I invite State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi to deliver his policy speech. Thank you.
Take my mask. 尊敬的东盟秘书长，
Your
我的
Excellency,
老朋友，也是好朋
Dato
友，
Lim Chok-hoi, Secretary General of ASEAN, also my
尊敬
good
的
friend,
东盟各国常驻代表，
permanent representatives of
各位使节
ASEAN member states, fellow diplomats and friends.
非常高兴
I'm
有
delighted
机会再次
to join
时隔多年到访
so many
秘
friends
书处，
at the
同各位新老朋友通过
ASEAN
雅加达之
Secretariat
道
after
共话
my last visit many years ago, and to
首先，
meet
我
so
谨代
many
表
friends
中国
both old and new
对
at the
东盟
ASEAN
迎来
Secretariat in renewing our friendship and advancing cooperation
对所
through
有
the Jakarta
关心
channel.
支持中国东盟合作的朋友们，
Let me
衷心的感谢。
say a big thank you to all the friends for your interest in and support for China-ASEAN cooperation, and also express our warm congratulations on the 55th birthday of ASEAN.
发展
My topic today is upholding peace, development, independence, and
坚定践
inclusiveness,
行
and renewing the firm commitment to open regionalism.
中国与东盟山水
China and ASEAN are linked by
我们
mountains
始
and
终是命运共
waters,
的
as well as hearts and aspirations. We are always good neighbors, good friends, and good partners with a shared
东
future.
盟国家是已
I have
30
been personally engaging with ASEAN for more than 3 decades. In recent years, I have visited ASEAN countries almost every year
经常
and
见
met
面
with ASEAN foreign ministers frequently.
中国东盟
Through
关
my
系
travels and
日新月
engagement,
异
I can keenly aware of the rapid and phenomenal development of China-Asean relations.
在习近平主席
Over the past 10 years in
和
particular,
中国
thanks to the strategic guidance and personal commitment of President Xi Jinping and leaders of ASEAN countries,
快车
China-ASEAN relations have entered the fast lane and made accelerating progress.
回首过往
In retrospect, the most encouraging development was that China-ASEAN relations
马当先
have stayed ahead in many
我
areas.
们率先同东盟
China was the first to forge a strategic partnership with ASEAN, the first to join the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia,
率先同东
the
盟
first to start an FTA negotiation with ASEAN, the first to give unequivocal support for ASEAN centrality in regional cooperation,
王也是率先
and the first to publicly express its willingness to sign the protocol
无核武器区
to the Southeast Asia nuclear weapon-free
东
zone.
盟的同事
My ASEAN colleagues have told me
中国和东盟
that among ASEAN's dialogue partners, China has the most vibrant and productive ties with ASEAN.
活力最富成果的一段关系。最令人感动的
The most touching event
同心抗疫，
was China and ASEAN countries standing together in solidarity to fight
东
COVID-19.
盟国家第一时间
When China was hit first by the virus, ASEAN countries immediately expressed solidarity and support and donated in cash and in kind to tide us over the trying time.
中国
When ASEAN countries were affected by the pandemic, China did its best to help ASEAN brothers fend off the
及
virus,
时提供
including sharing COVID response experience without reservation
打造
and providing timely vaccine assistance.
双方的抗疫合作，
Our cooperation against COVID-19 was a vivid testament to our deep friendship through thick and thin. Together, we have set a good example of working together to beat the virus.
最令人振奋的
The most heartening progress was the thriving economic cooperation and trade between
中
China
国
and
与东盟
ASEAN.
已经互为最
We
大
are
的
each other's largest trading partner. Our trade volume
较
has
30
soared
年前
100 times from 30 years
双方
before.
直接投资额
Our
已
two-way
累计
direct
超过
investment has
3000 亿
exceeded 300 10 billion US dollars.
顺利通车。
The China-Laos Railway is up and running. Good progress has been made in the Jakarta-Bandung high-speed railway, the China-Thailand Railway, the China-Malaysia and China-Indonesia twin industrial parks, and a number of other Belt and Road projects.
最令人欣慰的，
The most gratifying achievement was that China-ASEAN Security Cooperation has been making steady progress.
宣言
With full implementation of
南海新文准
the
自由
DOC
磋商
and positive
积极
progress in the consultation of a
争
COC,
议得到了有效
differences and disputes are being effectively managed. The situation on the sea has remained stable on the whole, and there has been no problem with the freedom of navigation and
安全
overflight.
交流
Military and security exchanges have deepened, and fruitful cooperation has been carried out in non-traditional security areas such as counterterrorism, climate response, cybersecurity, combating transnational crime, and disaster preparedness and reduction.
在中国东盟建立对华关系
In commemoration of the 30th anniversary of China-ASEAN Dialogue Relations, President Xi Jinping and ASEAN leaders jointly announced the establishment of a China-ASEAN Comprehensive Strategic Partnership,
推动我们关系迈上新的台阶，
bringing our relationship to a new
共同
height.
建设五大
He also made 5 proposals on building our home
中国中美
together,
关系的未来。
pointing the way forward for the growth of China-ASEAN relations.
今年
This year is the first year for building the China-ASEAN Comprehensive Strategic Partnership.
起好步
We should get off to a good start, make solid steps, and lead the way forward. We should get united and join hands to keep China-ASEAN cooperation at the forefront of the times and galvanize stronger force for peace and progress.
各位朋友，
Friends,
今年是中
this year marks the 55th anniversary of ASEAN.
东盟
Over the past 55 years, ASEAN has embarked on an extraordinary development path from early inception to steady growth in size and strength. Meanwhile,
这55
the past 55 years was also a golden era
亚洲
of Asia's
腾飞
rise
崛起
and
黄
takeoff.
金年代，在地区各国共同努力
With
下，
concerted efforts of all countries in the
跃升
region,
为
Asia has become a highland of development and promising land for cooperation.
博鳌亚洲论坛
Recently, the
发布
Boao Forum for Asia published the Asian Economic Outlook and Integration Progress Annual Report,
2021年
which pointed out that in 2021, Asia is the first to recover amid
成
the
为全球
global
经济增
pandemic,
长的
and that Asia became an important engine for global
今
economic
年
growth.
是 RCEP
Earlier this year,
这一世界上规模
RCEP,
最大
the
的
world's
自贸区
largest
正式
free trade
宣布
area,
实施，
officially went into
对于
effect,
我们这个地区的发展
injecting strong impetus to regional development.
在地区各国
With
共同努力
concerted
下
efforts of all countries in the region,
也正在
Asia
成为
is also
全球
becoming a fine example of global
特别是
governance.
今年的多边
Most
议程
notably, a number of key multilateral events will be held in Asia this
成功
year.
举办了京东
China
领
has
导人
successfully hosted the BRICS Summit.
柬埔寨、
The Cambodia,
泰国
Indonesia, and Thailand will host the leaders' meetings on East Asia cooperation,
20 个
the
集团
G20 summit, and the APEC economic leaders' meeting, respectively.
非正式会议，各方的目光
The world's attention is turning to the Asian region.
全球治理
Global governance has ushered in
国际
the
社会
moment of Asia, and the international community needs to listen more attentively to the voice of Asia.
我们这个地区之
Our
所以
region has secured such remarkable achievements and created exceptional miracles in
为
growth,
世人瞩目，
most fundamentally because countries in the region
就在于
have
地
adhered
区各国
to
始终坚
open
持
regionalism.
开放的区域主义。我们尊重地区
Respected and appreciated
多样性，
the diversities
我们
among
坚持
members
并践行
and upheld and practiced the principle of voluntarism.
地区经济
We have advanced regional economic integration through free trade,
推进区域
promoted regional and sub-regional cooperation via equal
构
consultation,
建起变革
and developed networks of friends worldwide with an open mindset.
当前亚洲
Asia is now standing at a new historical starting
面临
point
着前所
and
未有
facing unprecedented development opportunities. We must also be aware that the world today is not
围绕亚
peaceful.
洲的前途出现了两种截然
There are two completely different trends concerning the future of
开
Asia.
放的区域，
One advocates
维护
open
真正的多
regionalism,
边主义，
true
坚持发展优
multilateralism,
先，
a development-first approach, and mutually beneficial cooperation. It aims to help countries in the region emerge from the pandemic and achieve all-round development as soon as possible. The other pursues a relapse into the obsolete Cold War mentality and closed group politics, and classifies countries in the region based on their values. It attempts to divide the regional economy into different blocks and even apply the NATO approach to Asia-Pacific security. The choice we make today determines where the path will take us from now on. Openness or isolation, cooperation or confrontation, solidarity or division, progress or regression. It will have a fundamental and far-reaching impact on the future of all countries in the region. As the Chinese saying goes, advancing with the times opens up new horizons. Both history and reality show that a country or region, for that matter, can only make progress when it follows the trend of the times. Therefore, China chooses to join hands with ASEAN members and other regional countries to adhere to the vision of peace, development, independence, and inclusiveness, firmly uphold open regionalism, and by drawing experience and wisdom from Asian civilizations and practices, constantly add new dimensions to open regionalism. We need to always uphold the concept of peaceful coexistence. In history, China lived in harmony with Southeast Asian countries and other neighbors, living touching stories of good neighborliness and enduring friendship. In the 1950s, we together advocated the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence, under which all countries enjoy rights to peace, regardless of their size and strength. Over the past half-century, the region has developed the Asean Way, or an Asian Way, underpinned by major principles such as mutual respect, consensus building, and accommodating the comfort levels of all parties. It has established a diversified and multi-layered security architecture and fostered a proactive thinking of pursuing common, cooperative, and comprehensive security. All this has laid a solid foundation for lasting peace in Asia. At present, frequent international security crises are sounding the alarm for mankind. It is a stark reminder that peace should never be taken for granted and must be carefully preserved and cherished. We should never allow any attempt to extend geopolitical conflicts or block confrontation to Asia, nor do we want to see any sanction, blockade, or humanitarian crisis in this part of the world. Not long ago, President Xi put forth the Global Security Initiative, offering China's solution to global peace deficit and global security dilemma. It is necessary that we unequivocally champion the vision of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security. We need to stay committed to safeguarding the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries, taking seriously the legitimate security concerns of all countries, and resolving differences and disputes in a peaceful way through dialogue and consultation, in a bid to protect our shared home and defend our fundamental interest in peace and stability.
We need to always uphold the goal of development and unification. For a long period of time in history, the Asian economy accounted for over half of the world's total. In modern times, however, its development stagnated and fell behind. Today, the valve to Asia's development and progress is fully open, unleashing a strong momentum of rejuvenation and prosperity in the region. In only one generation's time, Asia doubled its share of global GDP and transformed itself from a low-income
中等收入的跃进。亚洲的发展是亚洲各国人民勤勤恳恳干出来的。我们没有搞
We never committed colonial plunder or
没有动
moved
过域外
the
国家的
chiefs of any country
我们更
outside
没
the
有想
region, still less trying to replace or drive away
赶走
anyone.
我们只想让
All we
人
want
民
is to bring a
过上
better life to our
更加
peoples.
幸福的生活。 当前亚洲
At
经济中
present,
的
the Asian economy is facing growing risks,
地区产业链
with disruptions to the stability of regional industrial supply chains
所谓脱钩
and
断
unabated
链
noises of decoupling and severing supply
习近
chains.
平主席提出全
The
球发
Global
展
Development Initiative,
对
GDI,
国际社
put
会
forward by
合力
President
应对
Xi
挑战
Jinping, has forward consensus and strength for the collective efforts of the international community to meet challenges, drive global economic recovery, and accelerate the implementation of the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
发展导向，
It is necessary that we continue to be development-oriented,
共享
form a right
发展机遇
perception of each other's development, and share development opportunities, work together to fund the multilateral trading regime with the WTO as the cornerstone, ensure a free and open global market, and promote integrated economic development.
我们要始终
We
坚
need
持
to always
独立
uphold
自
the
主
principle of independence.
近代以
In
来，
modern times,
中国
regional countries,
东盟
including
地区
China and ASEAN
普遍
members,
遭受殖
had
民
suffered
侵略
from colonization and
经过艰
aggression.
苦卓绝的
We
斗争
achieved national independence and liberation after tenacious
民
struggles.
族解放。我们向珍惜
We
生命
value
力
the hard-won independence like our life.
希望
We
用
hope
自
that
由
we
选
can
择
independently
政治制度
choose political systems and development paths, independently pursue foreign and defense policies, and independently decide on the pathway and pace in participating in economic globalization and advancing regional
各盟国
integration.
家
ASEAN countries have initiated and led Asia's regional cooperation mechanisms.
其独立
Their
地位
independence and centrality
得到了
has been widely respected by countries within and outside the region.
当前
At present, many countries in the region, including ASEAN countries,
受到所谓
are under the
选边
pressure
站
to
队
take
的
sides,
地区
and
战
the
略环境
strategic environment in the region risks being reshaped by political
我
factors.
们有必要
It is necessary
继续
that
坚
we
持
continue to uphold independence,
相互尊重各
respect
自
each
的
other's
权
sovereignty and core interests,
尊重
and
东盟
respect
和
the
陆地
integrity,
完整性
independence, and leading role of ASEAN as a community.
让我们这个
We
地
should
区
insulate this region from geopolitical calculations
从理
and the trap of the law of the jungle,
不当
from being used as chess pieces in major power rivalry,
不受
and from coercion by hegemony and bullying. Our future and the future of our region should be in our own hands.
我们要始终
We
坚
need
持
to always uphold the spirit of openness and inclusiveness.
开放包容
Openness and inclusiveness are inherent in the genes of regional civilizations. They're also the keys to the regional economic miracle.
成功密码。60多年前
More than
召开的
60 years
万人
ago, at the
会上
Bandung Conference, countries in this region made a just call for seeking common ground while shelving differences and pursuing peaceful
冷战结束
coexistence.
以来
Since the end of the Cold War, as pioneers in globalization and pace-setters
成为
of
自由
free
贸易
trade,
的领军者，
countries in this region have embraced the world with
在
greater
相互
openness,
包容中
supported each other with an inclusive spirit, and ensured together the economic takeoff of Asia.
当前全球化
At
潮流
present, despite current
尽管遭遇
headwinds,
一时的逆风，
globalization keeps surging
但奔
forward,
腾向前
as it is still the
仍然是
prevailing trend.
大势所趋。封闭和孤立
Seclusion and isolation will only lead to rigidity and backwardness, while inclusiveness and openness will bring mutual benefit and win-win
我们有
results.
必要坚
It
持
is necessary that we promote harmony without uniformity, embrace diversity in coexistence, and reject the attempt to split the
坚持
region
团
into
结域内国
confrontational
家
or
包容
exclusive
域外
groups.
国家的
We should uphold
真区域合作，
true multilateral regional
反对排
cooperation
斥特定国
that
家
unites countries within the
针对
region
特定地
and
方
remains
的
open to countries outside,
伪区域
and reject the kind of
我们相信
fake regional cooperation that keeps
亚
certain
太地
country
区
out
足够
and
大，
targets
容
certain
得下
side.
地区各
We
国
believe that the
各自
Asia
发展
Pacific is big
自主
enough
发
for
展
all regional countries to
做得
pursue
到
their
各自
development
亲民
and at the same time
美美
promote
不过
common development, and that all can
各位朋
prosper
友
respectively and
作为世界
collectively.
上最大的发
As
展
the
中国
world's
家
largest
和亚洲
developing
地
country
区
and
重
an
要
important member
中
in
国始
Asia,
终
China has
和平
always followed a path of peaceful
奉行
development
互利
and
共
a
赢的
win-win strategy of
开放
opening up.
坚持与邻为善，
We pursue friendship and partnership with our neighbors,
坚持
seek
睦邻
an
安邻
amicable,
富邻的
secure, and prosperous
周边
neighborhood,
外交政策，坚
and
持践
follow
行
a
真正
neighborhood
惠民的
policy featuring
周边
amity,
外交政策。
sincerity, mutual
我
benefit,
们
and
愿意同
inclusiveness.
东盟
We hope to
各国
champion
道
open
弘扬
regionalism
开放的
together
区
with
域
ASEAN
深化
and deepen our comprehensive strategic partnership.
中国
China will
将
continue
继续支持东
to
盟
support
中心
ASEAN
促
centrality
进地区
and promote solidarity and cooperation in the
东
region.
盟
ASEAN
是
is
区
at
域
the
合作
center of
同
all
心圆
ASEAN
的
Plus
圆心
concentric circles
中
of
国
regional
坚定支持东
cooperation.
盟
China
担
firmly
好
supports
区
ASEAN's
域
role
合作的
in the driver's seat,
驾驶
supports ASEAN community building,
支持东盟共同
and
体的建
supports
设
the
支
ASEAN
持以东盟为中
centered
心的
regional
区域
cooperation
合作架构
architecture.
欢迎东
China
盟
welcomes
制定
ASEAN's efforts to formulate a post-2025 vision for the ASEAN community. We are ready to assist ASEAN countries in achieving their development goals by tapping into such resources as the Global Development and South-South Cooperation Fund and the China-ASEAN Cooperation Fund.
继续加大
We'll also
对东
scale
盟
up
一体化
input
倡
into
议
the initiative
南
for
南
ASEAN
美合作
integration,
和
Lantang-Mekong
中国
cooperation,
东盟
and
东部经
BIMPIAGA
济体的投入
to help close the
对于缩
development
小
gap in
地
the
区发
region.
展差距。东盟方面多次强
ASEAN
调
has stressed on many
东盟
occasions
亚
that
太
its outlook on the
东盟印太角
Indo-Pacific
是
is an
独立自主的
independent
强
initiative
坚持
that
开放包
commits to
容
openness and
强调对
inclusiveness
话合
and
作
focuses on
激发
dialogue,
经济发展
cooperation, and
不
economic
附和
development,
也不针
that
对
it is
别
not
国
subservient to or targeted
东方
against
在
any
此
party.
立场
China appreciates this
我们愿
position.
与东盟
We'd like to
就落
increase
实
synergy and
展望
cooperation with
加
ASEAN
强对
on the
接合作
implementation of the outlook
使对接
to
成果
produce cooperation outcomes at an early date.
中国
China
将
will
继
continue
续
to
推
call
动
for
以亚洲方
settling
式
differences
解决
in
分歧
Asian
和
way
维护
and
地区
uphold regional peace and stability.
我们愿与
We will
地
work
区各
with
国
other countries in the
携手
region
落
to
实全球
implement
安全
the
倡议
Global Security
继续深
Initiative
化防
and
务
deepen
防
cooperation
控
in defense,
海上联合搜
counterterrorism,
救
joint
和
maritime
演练
research
打
and
击
rescue
跨国
and
犯罪
exercise,
灾害
combating
管理
transnational crimes and disaster
我们
management.
要走出
We hope to blaze a
对
new
话
path of security
不对立
that chooses dialogue over
结
confrontation,
伴而不结盟
partnerships over
共赢
alliances, and
非
win-win
零和
over
的新型
zero-sum
安全
game.
制度践行
And put into
以信为
practice
本
principles
以
for
邻
how
接
neighbors may
以
get
诚
along,
相待的
trust as the basis,
邻里相
the
待
greater good as priority, and sincerity in the
中国东盟国
interaction.
家正在加
China
快
and
推
ASEAN
进
countries are expediting the COC consultations,
这将为
which will
更
serve
有
as
效
solid
管控
institutional
安全地区
safeguards for more
更有
effective
力推进
management
合
of
作
differences,
更
more
积极
vigorous
共同
advancement of
坚
cooperation,
实
and more active
推
joint
动
governance of the South China Sea.
我们还将
We'll
继续
continue
支
to
持东
support
盟建
ASEAN's
设
efforts
无
in
核
building a
无核武器
nuclear
区域
weapon-free zone
我愿重申
and reaffirm here
中国
that China is
随时
ready
愿意
to sign the
签署
protocol to the Treaty of
东南亚
Southeast Asia
无
Nuclear
核武
Weapon
器
Free
区
Zone
条约的
at any
缔结
time.
中国将继续
China will continue
坚
to
定
pursue
奉行
firmly
开
its
放
open
发展
strategy for development and promote regional economic
我
integration.
们愿加快落实
We will speed up the
自东盟进口
importing of 150 billion US dollars worth of ASEAN agricultural goods, bringing
也
more
愿进口
high-quality
更多
products from
东盟
ASEAN
国家的
countries
其他的优质产品，鼓励更
and
多中国
encourage
企
more
业
Chinese
把东
companies
盟
to
作为
make the
投资
ASEAN their
首
top
选，
investment
继
destination.
续着力
We'll
促进
continue to promote
疫后的复苏，
post-COVID recovery,
推动
advance the
建设
development
一带一
of
路，
demonstration
中国
zones for
东
Belt and
盟
Road
国际
international
合
industrial
作市场
capacity cooperation,
提升
enhance
区
the
域
resilience
产
of
供应
industrial
链的
and
韧
supply
性。
chains in the
确保
region,
跨
and
境
ensure smooth trade flows across the border.
我们也尽
We are
早
ready
启
to
动
launch a
中国
new
东
round
盟
of
自贸区
upgrade of the
3.0
China-ASEAN
法
free trade area
全
as
面
soon as
实施
possible,
并实
and
施
implement
这
the
一升级
RCEP across the board, and promote its upgrade in due course.
中国加入
China remains firm
全面
in
与
its
进步
resolve
发
to
展
join
伙
the
伴
CPTPP
CPTPP
and DIPA
和数字经济伙伴关系协定 （DIPA）。我们这方面的决心坚定不移。
Our resolve is firm in this regard, and we are ready to sign high-standard free trade agreements with more countries.
中国期待
China looks forward to closely
中国海南的
integrating the
自贸
development of the Hainan Free Trade Port
粤港
and
澳
the
大
Guangdong
湾
Hong
区
Kong
的建
Macau
设
Greater Bay Area
同中国东
and
盟合作
China-ASEAN
有机结合
cooperation,
支持
and supports
香港
Hong Kong and Macau in engaging in more extensive and closer exchanges of cooperation with ASEAN countries.
中国将继续
China will
坚
continue
定
to
推动
resolutely
科技
advance
创
cooperation
新
in science, technology, and innovation to stimulate new drivers of development in the
中国
region.
东盟已完成
We have
制定
formulated the plan of
数
action
字经济
to
合作伙伴关系行动计
implement
划
the partnership on digital
中方
economy
将认真落
cooperation.
实
China will
重点加
earnestly
大
implement this
对
plan
本
of
地区
action
数
with a
字基
focus
础
on
设施
increasing
和
input
数
in
字化
digital
转型
infrastructure and digital
深
transformation
化
in this
电
region,
子商务
deepen practical cooperation in
合作
e-commerce,
积极推动
actively
facilitating dialogue on digital governance and coordination and harmonization of rules.
衔接，
and strengthening digital connectivity.
我们也通
We
过
are
一带
ready
一路
to,
绿
through
色
the
发展
Belt and
伙
Road
伴关系
Partnership on Green
和
Development
生物
and the
循环
Biocircular
绿色
Green
经济发展
BCG model, explore cooperation
探讨开展
on
低碳
low
循
carbon,
环
circular and green
绿色经济
economy, and jointly
共同建设
build platforms for cooperation in clean energy, science and
推
technology.
进无国界
We
无
will
障碍
advance
无歧
barrier
视
and discrimination-free scientific and technological innovation that transcends borders. We will implement well the China-Asean Science, Technology and Innovation Enhancing Program, speed up talent cultivation and technology transfer to provide a constant source of strength for high-quality economic growth and accelerate regional transformation and development. China will continue to carry forward Asian values and deepen the bonds of friendship among peoples in the
国
region.
家老一代的
The older generation of leaders of ASEAN countries insightfully summarized Asian values
强
as
调家庭
cherishing family, community, consensus, and morality.
我们对此
And
深
China feels the same
中
way.
国
We are ready to work with ASEAN to carry forward
践
and
行
practice Asian values,
超越你
rise
心目
above
中的
the zero-sum mentality,
加深
and
同
deepen
甘共
our
苦
brotherly bond of sharing
深
will
入
and woe
亲
in
近
a spirit of solidarity and partnership.
中方将采取
China
更
will
多
adopt more
便利人
measures
员
to
往来的措施
facilitate the flow
同
of
各
people
方适时
and
探讨
discuss
情
the
况
launch of tourism recovery plans with all sides
支
at
持
a
东
proper
盟旅
time.
行
We support the development of an
我们
ASEAN
将
travel
在
corridor.
疫后
In
时
a
代
post-COVID
大力
era,
推进
we
文
will
化
proactively
经
step
济
up exchanges in
地
culture
方
and between the
媒
youth,
体
subnational
妇女
entities,
交流
media, and women
推动双
to
方
promote
人员
mutual
相
understanding,
知相
amity,
惜
and affinity between our peoples.
各位朋友
Friends,
同一个愿景
ASEAN's motto, one vision, one identity, one community,
这是东盟的格局
is also a portrayal of the region's spirit of seeking strength through unity.
精神写照在新
In
的
the
时
new
代背景
era,
下中
China
方
is ready to
愿
work
同
with
东盟
ASEAN member
地
states
区各国一道
and other
秉
countries
持和平
in the
自由
region to uphold peace,
发展
independence,
包容
development, and
坚定
inclusiveness,
践行
and resolutely practice open
携手建设
regionalism. Together, we will build a common homeland that enjoys peace, tranquility, prosperity, beautiful environment, and friendship,
谱写
and write
地
a
区
new
合作
chapter of regional cooperation and Asian vitalization.
篇章谢谢各位
I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, State Councillor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Please kindly remain on the podium as we will proceed with the Q&A session. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, due to State Councillor's very tight schedule, we would open the floor for 3 questions. Please raise your hand, mention your name and the institution you represent when posing the question. May we have the first question, please? Yeah. Gentleman in the 5th row on my left side, please identify yourself first. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Taufik Rahman. I'm from the Jakarta Post, one of national and regional newspaper in Indonesia. State Councillor and Minister Wang Yi, I think media serve a very important role in connecting policies and the people. And I think your ambassador in Jakarta, Ambassador Deng Shijun and bilateral Ambassador Lu Kang has known this very well. They have regularly discussed with us in a number of policy to elaborate China's policy on various issues, and we really welcome that because this is very important to monitor the development in the region. And we're very glad to hear your speech on China regional policy, which features open regionalism. This is positive and really encouraging. And my question is this. In light of recent development, the US, along with Australia and other countries, has stepped up its effort to make more presence in the region, in Asia Pacific, and especially also expanding their influence. What is your view on this? Thank you.
感谢你提的问题，我希望媒体之间可以更加频繁地加强相互的交往。
We do hope there could be more exchanges with the media,
东盟各国的媒体同仁们更多的了解
and we do hope we could have more communication with media
进步，
so that you could learn more about China's strategic development
更好的发展的机遇。
and seize the opportunities presented by China.
关系的问题，
As for your question, I know it is of great interest
对于
to many people.
其他国家参与我们这个地区的事务，我们历来持开放的态度。
As for other countries' participation in Asia-Pacific affairs, we are always open to it.
是有利于
The key is to see whether their behavior is good for regional peace and stability,
紧张和对抗，
or are they trying to
是
create
有利于我们地区
tensions
的
or
发展这一
confrontation? Are they trying to improve the region's development and rejuvenation, or are they trying to
是有利于增
decouple
进我
and
们
cut
地
off
区的团结合
supplies?
作，还
Are
是
they trying to enhance regional unity and cooperation, or are they trying to reinvent the wheel or even create division?
地区各国人民
I believe
心
that
里
people in this
有一
region
秤，
have a
有历
yardstick
史也会
in their
就
mind,
此
and
公正
history
地
will give its fair assessment.
昨天我在巴厘岛，
Well, 2 days ago,
前天吧，同美国
the
国
day
务卿
before
布林肯
yesterday,
先生
I was in Bali
举行了一个长时
having
间
a
的一个
very lengthy meeting with the
当时我
US Secretary of State
就是一个
Antony
建议，
Blinken, and
就
I
是
told the
我们
US side very
中美
solemnly
双方是不是可以考虑
that our two sides should consider
在亚太地区
discuss the establishment of rules for positive interactions in the Asia
开放
Pacific
举止？
and to uphold
这个规则
jointly
的核心的要素
open regionalism.
就是
The core
支持
elements
动物
are to support ASEAN
维护
centrality,
现有，
uphold the existing regional cooperation framework,
尊重中美彼此
respect
在亚太的正当
each other's legitimate rights and interests in the Asia Pacific instead of aiming to antagonize or
自觉地发
contain
挥
the other side.
负责任的大国作用，
It is also important to play the role as a major responsible
更
country,
多的
promote regional stability and development, and provide more public goods to the region.
中美如果能够在亚太地区实现良性互动，
If China and the US can have sound interactions in the Asia Pacific,
释放中美关系的正面的，
it could help
同
release
时也符
the
合
positive energy
这个地区所有国家的
and also
普遍的期望。
meets the expectation of all regional countries.
对中国的建议，
So we look forward to the feedback of the US side to the Chinese
中
proposal.
美能否良性互动，
Whether China and the US can have positive interaction
美国
is also a test of whether the US can rise above its hegemonic mentality,
零和的博弈，
give up its Cold War thinking, discard zero-sum logic,
和平
and take concrete actions to play a constructive role in peace and prosperity in the Asia Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Excellency. May
非常
we
感谢
invite
阁
the
下的
second question, please.
Morning and thank you very much, Minister. My name is Sumadi Broto Tiningrat, a retired Foreign Service Officer of Indonesia, and today I'm representing the Morning, Mr. Minister. My name is Sumadi Broto Tiningrat. I am a retired Indonesian Foreign Service Officer, and today I'm representing the Foreign Policy Community of Indonesia, an independent and non-partisan civil society. First, I would like to express my appreciation to my good friend, Secretary General Lim Jok Hoi, for the invitations, and of course, to you, Minister, for your very clear messages in your presentations. Nonetheless, I feel it a bit sinful to let go an opportunity to have an interactive with you. So, a rare opportunity for me. That's why allow me only to have just one question. Mr. Minister, as you have mentioned, and also it's also mentioned by the Secretary General, for a long years, ASEAN and China has already initiated and developed many economic cooperation schemes. And both of us are benefiting from it. And you yourself already acknowledged, Mr. Minister, that collectively and also individually, now for the ASEAN countries, China becomes the largest economic partner. But now, as the world is confronting with a very difficult challenge, and more specifically in energy crisis, the food crisis, the supply chains disruptions and inflations, those are at the unprecedented dimension, and those are unanticipated predicament when we develop our past cooperations. So please, I would like to appreciate your more specific wisdom on how we will pursue our cooperations so as, at least at the short term, could help all of us in our difficult struggle to get a post-pandemic recovery. Thank you very much,
至少
Mr.
在
Minister.
短期帮助促进全球复苏能够发挥怎样的作用？
我理解这位朋友提的问题的核心是中国和东盟的经济合作
Economic cooperation, what kind of role will such cooperation
发挥什么样的作用？
play to address the most difficult and acute economic challenges that we face?
分别为全球
China is the second largest economy in the world. ASEAN is the fifth largest. Combined,
界的
our economies take up over 1/5 of the world's total, and we contribute to over 30% to global economic growth. So we are already the major engine for world economic recovery in every sense.
要有这么一个
So I do believe that, first of all, we need to have a clear recognition of
我们认为全球经济复苏
our role and standing. For the global economy to recover, first of all, we need to overcome the impact of the pandemic,
中国
first
东
and
盟国家
foremost.
开展之后成
China and
效
ASEAN countries have conducted effective cooperation in this area. We were the first to put the pandemic under
我
control,
们为经济的快速
and
复
we
苏
have created the conditions for the economy to reopen and recover as quickly as possible. Because of our recovering economy, of course, China and ASEAN
细致
are providing the valuable confidence to the world.
全球经济复苏还需要聚
For
焦
global economic recovery, we need to focus on cooperation on
南
development.
美国家的
During my
对外
visit this time with the 5 Lancang Mekong countries' foreign ministers, the 6 of us agreed to build
南美
a more resilient Lancang Mekong economic
同
belt.
老挝
With the Laos and Thailand, we discussed this vision of connecting the railways between China, Laos, and Thailand
游客南下
to bring tourists southward and to bring products
通过
northward.
陆海新通道
And with the new land and sea trade corridor, reach all the way to
我
Europe.
和泰国朋友都
Our friends in the
对此
Laos and
很
Thailand
感兴趣。
show great interest and expressed their support.
我跟统筹部长以及印尼的朋友们
In Indonesia, with the Minister for Coordination and many other Indonesian friends, we engaged in
一系列
discussions and reached a series of important common understandings on
目前这种
further cooperation. So in today's world that is fraught with instability, uncertainty, and insecurity, China and ASEAN must work together to focus and concentrate on development. This itself is an important contribution that we make to the recovery of the world economy.
我认为全球经济复苏，
For the global economy to recover,
中国和东盟我
It also requires China-ASEAN to follow the trend of globalization to ensure stability of industrial and supply chains, and to promote trade and investment, liberalization and facilitation. To this end, we need to put in greater efforts to advance RCEP so that it can make an impact as early as possible and enter into force as early as possible. It is expected to drive almost 3% of global trade. And in 5 years, it will contribute to 1.5% of global growth. So, amid this cold wave against globalization, our commitment, our persistence are a warm breeze to the world. For world economic recovery, we need to find new driving force. And in this area, China and ASEAN, we are at the forefront as well. We are playing an active role. For example, we are keeping abreast with the fourth technological transformation in digital economy, green economy. We are working at a deep level. Our e-commerce cooperation is booming so rapidly. Countries in the region and our peoples are benefiting a lot, and we are seeing a more vibrant economy. So our cooperation is leading East Asia on track toward becoming the fastest-growing digital economic market in the world. So all in all, we stand ready to work with ASEAN friends to promote high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, to build China-ASEAN cooperation and take this cooperation to a higher level, to the greater benefits to the people in China and ASEAN countries, and also to make our greater contribution to accelerated recovery of the world economy so that we can recover together and we can recover stronger, which is the theme of the G20 presidency of Indonesia. Let's contribute our share to it. Thank you.
May we invite the last question, please? Yes, the lady. Please identify yourself. Thank you.
谢谢。王国伟好，我是凤凰卫视的记者高棉。那么当前呢，台海局势呢日益严峻复杂，引起国际社会的高度关注。我的问题是呢，您认为呢，造成目前台海局势高度紧张的症结和根源是什么？中方呢将如何维护台海的和平稳定？谢谢。
台海稳定的地理神针
across the Taiwan Strait
一个中国。
is underpinned by the One China
历史和实践已经反复的证明。
history and reality
当一个
have
中国原
shown
则得到
repeatedly
充分的
that
认
when the One China
真
principle
许的时候，
is fully recognized and earnestly observed, the Taiwan Strait will remain
两岸就能
peaceful
实现和平发展。
and the two sides across the
当一
strait
个中国
will
原则
enjoy peaceful development. But when the One China principle is arbitrarily challenged or even sabotaged, there will be dark clouds or even ferocious storms across the strait.
台海的紧张
The current tensions in the Taiwan Strait
就在于
are fundamentally caused by the DPP authorities who abandoned the 1992 consensus that reflects the One China principle,
两岸关系和平发展的重要的
undermined cross-strait relations,
挟洋
the foundation of cross-strait relations peaceful development, and they are walking down
同时我们
further
不
down the
少
path of relying on foreign countries to seek independence.
掏空
In the meantime, the United States, by distorting and hollowing out the One China
而弄
policy, is trying to play the Taiwan card
中国的发展进程。
to disrupt and contain China's development.
现在都在谈，
Now, everyone is talking about the need to uphold
说不要去改
the status quo or not to change the status quo. Then what is the status quo of the Taiwan question? We need to set the record straight.
两岸同
There is only one China to which both sides of the Taiwan Strait belong. Taiwan is part of the Chinese
虽然长期
territory.
政治对立
Although the two sides have been politically against each other for a long time,
领土完
China's state sovereignty and territorial integrity has never been
这就
split.
是台湾
This is the real status quo of the
是
Taiwan
从古
question.
至今没有
This has not changed
也不会改变。
from the ancient times to the present day, and it is a status quo that cannot change. Those that are challenging and undermining the status quo are the DPP authorities that seek independence and some foreign external forces who try to contain China with Taiwan. Let me reiterate that the Taiwan question is the core of China's core interests. To uphold the country's territorial integrity and sovereignty is the unshakable responsibility of every Chinese. No people or force or country should have any illusion about splitting Taiwan from China. The One China principle is also a basic principle for China to establish diplomatic ties with other countries. It constitutes part of the Second World War, post-World War international order. We hope that all countries could fully recognize the serious danger of Taiwan independence and work with China to uphold the One China principle. The more unequivocal we are about upholding the One China principle and the more forceful our measures are to contain and prevent separation, the more likely it is to ensure peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and peace and prosperity in the region. I also want to point out that recently the U.S. has been emphasizing repeatedly the need to uphold the sovereignty and territorial integrity of every country. I've heard this many times. Given America's past record, we take seriously this statement from the United States because that is consistent with the basic norms of international relations and the purposes and principles of the UN Charter. But we must stress one thing. The U.S. cannot practice double standards or constantly renege on its promises or flip-flop on its positions. China's sovereignty and territorial integrity should equally be respected and upheld. In particular, it is about whether the United States as a major country can uphold its international credibility.
Thank you very much, State Councilor and
非常
Foreign
感
Minister
谢
Wang
王
Yi
于国委员兼外
for
长
his speech and for answering the questions. We would like to kindly invite State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi to please kindly return to your seat. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause to State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Thank you very much, Excellency. Excellencies, we would like to express our sincere appreciation to State Councilor and Foreign Ministers of the Republic of China, His Excellency Wang Yi, for gracing the occasion. At this point, we would like to request everyone to remain seated while the State Councilor takes his leave. Ladies and gentlemen, before your departure from the venue, please kindly leave your headset from the chair. The Chinese mission has prepared lunch boxes for the guests attending today's event, and please take one at the entrance of the lobby. Thank you very much and have a good day.